Hello, welcome to the Gin Club, episode 7.
7?
7.
Wow.
It's lucky for some.
I don't think that's the number, but we'll go with it.
So obviously on the Gin Club, what we got? Do you know? I'd quite like to do a proper introduction. What do you reckon?
All right.
Like what's coming up
What's coming
for
up?
any new listeners. So we've got topic this week, which is drunk stories.
Cute.
Then we've got our news stories that we bring up, where we bring up news that you probably haven't heard of anywhere else.
Yep.
And then we have Turbo Virgin Time,
Fabulous.
which is post from when I were a virgin.
A turbo virgin.
Autistic Turbo Virgin. It's very, very heavy. I'm not going to lie. And then obviously we've got us review of his gins that we're drinking. So do you want to introduce what you're drinking?
Okay, so I am drinking a lemon sherbet gin.
Ooh.
It's a sparkly tipple, and it is an Asda's extra special.
Ooh.
Oh,
Gone
yeah.
to Asda.
I haven't actually.
Big spender.
And I've just discovered that it does make that noise when you
That is
open it.
absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's got a little wooden cork in it. Fabulous.
It's almost like that glug, when you open a bottle of wine.
Oh yeah, and it gluk, 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 gluk.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh god, I'm going to get hammered.
Yeah, that's the trigger, isn't it?
It's great.
Oh yeah, and I'm drinking that with, and you've guessed it,
The
lemonade,
finest.
the finest lemonade.
Only the finest. Is that the same bottle from the last 3 episodes?
Probably not, but it has been sat on the counter all day, so it is quite warm, and I don't have any ice. Lovely. Yeah.
So we talked a couple of podcasts ago. Oops, just not my microphone. That's going to be a massive spike. I've gone out of my way a little bit. Well, I haven't really. I went to Cork because it's like last minute.
Yeah.
But they did have something in the fridge called Caroon Gin.
Caroon Gym.
Yeah, but it's spelled like CARUNN.
All right.
And it's a small batch Scottish gin.
Interesting.
Yeah, like we said, there'd be no gin in Scotland because they wouldn't have it.
Yeah, and all the drink is iron brew.
Yeah, and I've picked one up.
Go on.
And it's with natural Indian tonic water from Franklin and Sons.
Natural. See, I don't think it's very natural, is it, really, tonic water?
I don't think you can get unnatural tonic water. Isn't it just water?
I don't know, because tonic fizzy.
Yeah.
Which, is it?
Does that naturally work? Does that naturally occur? Probably not.
I don't think so.
I've never gone swimming in sea and it just been bubbly or something, do you know what I mean?
No, me neither.
And I've never gone to like a cave and seen bubbly water and they're going, this is where our bubbly water comes from.
This is where you get tonic water from. No.
For a gin that they're selling co-op for £2 a pop. But this week I've actually gone with a can of it.
Yeah.
So like you did your lovely noise, I'm going to do mine. Let me see if I can get it perfect though, because obviously it is a nice noise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, we're a bit scuffed. We're a bit scuffed.
It's all right. It'll do.
Yeah. So that's what I'm drinking. Anything happened to you this week?
Anything happened to me this week? I bought a new wardrobe for my room. I got it from Ikea.
That's exciting. Did it come with all the screws?
It came with all the screws, and I tell you what, mate, the booklet was like a small Harry Potter novel. That's how big it was.
It's wild, isn't it?
There were 54 steps in it.
Jesus
to make
Christ.
it a wardrobe.
Like 4 screws? Not even screws, it's some weird circular metal things.
It was
you just turn.
Stressful, and it just makes you think, really, how secure is this?
Yeah.
And I tell you what, right? I thought it was going to be more stressful on my own, right?
Mm.
But it turns out it were a lot easier because the only person I had to argue with was myself.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of arguing going on, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it, putting together flat pack furniture?
So shit.
Because you think, it's well easy. These steps make it look well easy.
Yeah.
And then you put it together like upside down or something, and then you get really mad at it.
Yeah.
Because you think, I've got the instructions and I still can't do it.
And one thing, right? The instructions are pictures only. There's no
Yeah.
words, right? Which, in theory, it's probably a good idea because it's universal. Anyone can look at a picture and be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's that." You don't have to interpret it.
Mm.
It be what it do.
But yeah, it is hard to interpret some of the photos in it.
Yeah. So, but I got it up. I'm concerned it's going to fall on me at night because it's right next to my bed.
Yep.
But yeah, I had a few arguments, and we've all been there. We've all been in the flat pack world.
I thought you just said follow me in the night, not fall on me in the night.
Oh, so the wardrobe's going to follow me in the night.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're talking about some haunted fucking wardrobe.
I actually think that'd be scarier than it falling on me.
We got a table once from Ikea, like a dining room table.
Yeah.
And we got to putting it together. And we got the table together quite easy because it was just like 4 little screws.
Yeah, 4 legs
And
at
it came to
the
doing
top.
yeah, exactly. So you kind of know. We got to putting the chairs together. And oh my God. Honestly, Jess nearly walked out. I put the legs on the wrong way around, then I put the seat on the wrong way around, then I put the little stupid brace strut things on the wrong side of the chair and all. Oh my God, it was just a nightmare.
And then you think, you know what, I've got perhaps 3 more to go. At least I know for next time. No.
Yeah, never. Yeah, so I've been through that pain as well. It's not a nice experience, is it?
It's not good. It's really not good.
And you only really go to IKEA I only ever go to IKEA with Jess. I don't care about all the furniture and stuff. I go for the hot dogs.
Oh, you're
Or the
such
meatballs.
a dosser.
The hot dogs are amazing. That's the best part of IKEA.
They like rollover hot dogs, they are, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like eating condoms.
Oh.
Yes, basically meat in condom skins. But that's what we go for.
What about you? What's happened to you this week?
So, what's happened to me is it's not really an interesting thing, but it's gonna lead me off into a thing that happened to me when I was a little bit younger.
Cool.
So the thing that's happened to me this week is Magic the Gathering released a new block, right? So every 2 years, things go out, so you can't play with certain cards. So if anyone don't know, Magic the Gathering is basically adult Pokemon.
Brilliant.
It's really sad.
I didn't know it was Turbo Virgin time yet.
Right. It's one of those things that I've never been able to get rid of. I still play it. But it reminded me of when I went once to so they had these premiere events where you go and play it's basically like playing cards face to face. And I went, and obviously you can imagine the amount of Turbo Virgins that are in there.
Yeah.
All playing this weird version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just all sat around. And I'm not kidding, I walked in through the front door. It was at the Manchester, not at the arena, it was like a place.
Brilliant.
Like the shopping place. What's the shopping place called? The
Trafford Centre.
So they cordoned off this bit of this Trafford Centre so that we could all go play with each other. And I walked through the front door and all you could smell like cheese and onion pasties.
Oh, I was literally going to say, I bet it stunk.
All I could smell were cheese and onion pasties. So I walked in and I was like, oh my God, this is rough. And then to the right, there were some fat, not very attractive woman.
Right.
Dressed as some sort of witch or something.
Brilliant. There's always a cosplayer, isn't there?
She was surrounded by about 30 men taking photos of her.
Oh, God.
And asking them to sign their hands and it was weird.
And their own tits.
Yeah, it was very, 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 very cringy. So anyway, I thought I'll get through this because I'm pretty good at this game. So I'm just gonna beat some of them and that'll make me feel better.
Yeah.
Anyway, sat down. It's like a premier event. You have to face 9 different people, and a certain amount of wins you get through to the next stage and stuff like that. It's all very serious, but you've got to have a judge who judges if someone does something wrong. It's all taken very, very seriously. So if you need to do anything, you have to put your hand up to call the judge, right?
Mm.
So in the morning, I was nervous to go in, so I slammed loads of Monsters and Relentless down my neck.
Because that's going to help, right?
Caffeine. Yeah, because I thought, I need to be at my mentally best here to beat some of the finest men in the land. Do you know what I mean?
Stop it.
And then, so I sit down for the first game, and I just feel my stomach rumbling, real bad. And I just looked at this kid that I was playing, and I was like, man, I need to go to the toilet. I don't feel well. And I go drip white and everything. And you're like, you better call a judge over. And I went, listen, I'm going to shit myself. I need to go. Just if they come over, tell them. He went, no, I'm going to tell a judge on you. You're going to get disqualified. I'm like, can you stop? Because I'm going. So anyway, I stood up and he just started screaming, judge, 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 waving his arms about. And I'm like, what's he doing? So anyway, I went off to the toilet, came back, and judge came over and said, you're disqualified because you didn't call us over. I was like, oh, so you want me to just sit there, shit myself, and then call you over? What were I meant to do? So anyway, it didn't get any better after that, because then I just kept having these stomach aches. So I had to go and sit in car for the rest of the day. So I didn't even play any other events. I just sat in car waiting for my other friend for like 5 hours. And that's the last time I ever played it face to face. So hit with a wall full of shit smells. Saw a load of arse cracks from fat losers.
Sweaty, hairy ass cracks as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah, awful. Yeah. And then I watched loads of weird turbo virgins snacking over this 3 out of 10 girl.
Yeah.
And then got disqualified for nearly shitting myself.
Brilliant. What a great day.
Mm.
You had a good time.
That was my day out. Cost me £80 to enter as well.
Oh.
Missed that part out.
To get disqualified.
So, yeah. To get disqualified.
That's tragic. The entire
buy
thing's
some turbo
tragic,
virgin.
to be fair, but that is tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Topic of this week, which is drunken stories.
Yeah. You can go first. Talk me through your drunk story.
Mine's going to be... Do you know what? This episode's going to be a lot of talk about me being a turbo virgin, I feel.
Brilliant.
So we've already had Magic the Gathering, which is turbo virgin. And I'm going to talk about my drunk story for an hour, about maybe 15.
Mm.
So we're at school, and these girls had said that they were going to have an house party. We weren't invited.
Classic.
Obviously, so we're losers. But we overheard it. We knew where she lived.
Oh, no.
It's like, let's crash it. Let's be proper mental about it. Let's go crash an house party.
Yeah.
So me and 3 of my friends.
Can I just
decided that we
say,
were gonna...
crashing the house party itself isn't very turbo virgin-y.
It's not, is it?
No.
That's quite brave. It's either brave or desperate. One of the two.
Well, yeah.
So we decided we were going to go crash it. So we met up and we had a couple of pre-drinks. I think we had I don't know, peach snaps or something as pre-drinks.
Wow.
Yeah, we
So
were
classic.
living the dream. And then anyway, we walked up to this girl's house and we didn't even knock on the door. We just walked straight in and tried to blend in.
Yeah.
So we thought there'd be loads of people there. We'll blend in or whatever. Walked in. These 3 girls there. No one else.
Oh, no.
Just them. So no one had even turned up to their house party. And I think we'd misinterpreted it, and it wasn't even a house party. They were just like, oh, should we get together for some drinks?
Yeah.
And they were having a little weird girls' night in.
Oh, God. A slumber party.
Yeah, and we'd come in swinging arms around. Hey, let's get wrecked. And they were
Half a
like, what are you
peach snap
doing?
down.
Yeah, and they're sat there watching Twilight.
Oh, God, it's rough.
So anyway, the night rolls along. We raid the liquor cabinet, like the mum and dad's liquor cabinet.
So they actually let you in?
Yeah, they didn't say out back. I think they were a bit scared of us, to be honest with you.
Brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? We walked in, 4 turbo virgins.
Rowdy.
They knew we weren't going to do out, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So anyway, we get drinking. It gets further down the evening. One of my friends has gone missing. We're like, where's he gone? So we're searching an house was pretty big, like a 4-bed house. It was pretty big. Searching this house for him, thinking that he'd just be playing a prank or something. We open the bathroom door, and he shuts the door and just shouts, "Get out! Get out!" So we all barge the door through, and he'd managed to shit himself.
Yeah.
And then smear it all over the girl's wall, trying to clear it up. So for some reason, he'd literally done it on the floor.
Yeah.
And then as he's clearing it up, he's put his hand up to try and rest himself against the wall, and it's all over a toothbrush and everything. It's everywhere. Awful. All of it bath, because then he got it bath to try and wash it all off himself. So we were like, you need to stay in here. That's just, we won't tell anyone. So we kept him in there, and he passed out in there or whatever.
Covered in
went back
shit.
Downstairs, covered in shit, and we were like, let's just keep drinking. Let's drink through it. Not our problem. Don't matter.
Yeah.
So then we're drinking, and I just remember blacking out loads, and then coming back round, and then blacking out again, and coming round. And anyway, the one time that I remember one of the blackouts that I had, I got up off the chair, opened the front door, ran out into the street, and it was probably only about 7:30 at night at this point. We were absolutely wasted. And I remember shouting two girls at names that I fancied at school. And I was shouting it down the street as if they were there. And these three girls are trying to drag me back inside, saying, "Shut up! You're going to wake neighbours up. You're going to, well, not wake them up, but you're going to annoy neighbours. You're going to, cause all this trouble. Like my mum and dad will get back and they'll ask what's going on and all this." So I just started crying, and I was like, "You're taking me away from my girls," and like proper beefing about it. I didn't mind there was no one there, and they must have been thinking, "What's this guy doing?" So they dragged me inside, and then I come to again. And one of my friends is just bollock naked on the floor, passed out. And I'm like, "What's he doing?" And he was completely blooded, sick all over himself.
Brilliant.
And then, so then that was pretty much the night. So then I passed out again, woke up again in the morning, felt awful. Gonna go to Morrison's for a breakfast. As we all stumbled outside, just threw up on the car outside the house. I'm like, see ya. They were just checking the reds, hated us.
Brilliant.
Never spoke to us again in school. So mate shit himself. I'd cried. And my other mate had just been naked. For no reason.
And then you were sick all over the car next morning.
I was sick all over the car next morning. And and they just never, ever spoke to me again. Ever.
that ending's actually the most terrific part.
Yeah. That's just disrespectful, isn't it? Because you're sober by that point. So yeah, that was my. I think that was my worst drunk story. I think.
I like that it's collectively your friend's story as well.
Yeah, all three of us probably had the worst night of our lives.
Yeah.
The worst part about it was I don't think the three girls were even drunk. I don't think they're drunk. I think it was just us that got absolutely hammered within about half an hour, and they just ruined their night completely.
I wonder if any of them still think about it.
Don't know. None of them have got me as friends on Facebook anyway. I'll just put it that way.
Probably not then. Oh, right. So my story is less about other people and pretty much solely about me. So my cousin was he's been in a few bands, but he was in a band. He was a bass player in a band, and I'd go over and if they were at a gig, at a pub or something like that, stuff like that. So there were a gig, and then we were like, oh, we'll go back to whoever's house, one of the bandmates. We'll have some beers and that. I must have been like 15 or 16, something like that.
And you had long hair at this time, didn't you?
Yeah, I did have long hair at this time. How do you know?
Oh, I know everything, mate.
It's because we've all had long hair at this time in that sort of stage in his life.
Yeah.
So anyway, went back to their house, had some beers and that, obviously being 15, 16, got absolutely hammered, and they ended up putting me to bed, but there were no bed, so there were an armchair in one of the bedrooms. So they put me in an armchair with a blanket, and for some reason put on a Busted album while I slept.
Oh my God.
Right. So I'm like, all right. But I couldn't, I were drunk to the point where our head were back and, your eyes are rolling.
You can't do anything about what's going on.
Yeah. So I must have been asleep for like an hour because I think the album had finished. And I thought, oh my God, I need to shit. Right. And I know we seem to talk about shit. Huh?
It always comes back to shit our podcast.
It's funny, isn't it? So anyway, it had been snowing, so it was definitely winter time.
Yeah.
It had been snowing, so I went to the bathroom, and I was like, oh God, I like half shitting. I was like, oh God, I'm going to be sick. And I was like, well, what am I going to do? Because I'm shitting and I'm going to be sick somewhere. So for some reason, in my ultimate wisdom, I thought I'll go outside. Right? And I had shorts on and a t-shirt. Don't know why.
Middle of winter.
Yeah, but no socks.
Eating a cornetto. Sunny's on.
No socks, right? And I thought, oh, I'll just go out barefoot. It had been snowing, and it had settled. So I went out in the snow with no shoes or socks on or anything. And because of like, what are you doing? I went, oh, I just need some fresh air. So I went out of the garden, and it was like into a little ginnel. I found a little corner. And I just remember throwing up, right? And then thinking, oh no, I'm going to shit. So I ended up squatting, barefoot, shitting in the snow and being sick at the same time.
Well, you know what they say in school, don't you?
Go on.
Well, they say don't eat yellow snow, but do not eat snow that looks like someone's eaten a bowl of whole grain Cheerios and then thrown it back up again. Because I imagine that's what that snow looks like.
Yeah, probably. So anyway, I ate. I didn't eat anything. I threw up and I had my shit. And then
you were going to say you ate your own sick.
I
then.
have no idea.
Right, and then you're like, no, that's not.
I can't pull my pants back up. I've not wiped. So I ended up having to use the snow to wipe my arse with.
That's not efficient.
No, not really. So then my arse was cold, and I was like, I need to go back inside because I'm not very well. Went back in, and the guy whose house it was was like, why does he stink of shit? So if you're listening to this, James, it's because I shit outside your garden.
Never told him.
No. Cheers.
Lovely.
Yeah. Always.
Does it count as 2-ply or 1-ply does snow?
No ply, I don't think.
0 ply.
0 ply. World record.
Lovely.
And one extra little spin-off. When I'm drunk, I have a habit of, and I don't know why, throwing up out of windows.
What, like taxi windows?
No. House windows.
Like house windows?
Yeah. I always think, I'm feeling a bit rough. So I think, I'll just get some fresh air and I'll rest my head on windowsill and then just end up throwing out of it. Yeah. It's happened on numerous occasions.
I don't know. I've thrown up outside the house and then Jess has come down and been like, I think a bird's been sick outside. And I'm like, no, I had noodles last night. And it's obviously like Wagamama's noodles that I've just thrown up all over the driveway. She's thought it's like bird worms or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think everyone's been in the position where they've been throwing up. Like, it's worse when you're in a taxi.
Oh.
And the taxi driver's mugging you off by driving about 110 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's red hot. It stinks of tutti frutti, like always. Red hot. I get travel sickness anyway, and you just want to throw up. The amount of times I've opened the door and just done it straight onto A650.
And he can see you're not having a good time.
They love it.
And he thinks,
they
do you know
must
what?
absolutely love it.
Do you know what? Let's try and make this guy sick so I can get an extra 60 quid off him for clean up.
It's when they ask you, been a good night, pal?
And you're like,
Does it look like it's a good night? I've got a ripped t-shirt. I've got no money left. I ain't coming home with a girl. I'm in taxi on my own. What do you think, mate? Do you think it's been a good night? And I'm throwing up onto A650.
You're charging me £2 for 6 yard, mate. It's nowhere near a good night. Cheers.
You're having a better night than me.
Yeah. Turn that meter off. News time.
Oh, that's going to sound so weird.
I like it.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. I've gone for a semi-relevant news story, which I think all news stories are relevant, aren't they, to someone. Amazon removes distasteful coronavirus Halloween mask from sale.
What, right? Just the coronavirus as a mask?
I'll read the description to you. So, Halloween masks made to look like COVID-19 virus have been pulled from sale after complaints they made light of the killer disease. It was £14.59 and they were listed for sale from China.
Everything's listed for sale from China on Amazon. It's pretty much the thing, in it.
Yeah, I think it's standard.
That you're going to get something that's going to fall apart after 2 days.
But, like, how can it look like COVID?
I think it looks like the actual virus. You've seen a photo of the virus, haven't you?
Yeah. With the...
it looks like a hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
So someone's going to look at you and think, has he come as a hemorrhoid?
It
to
does
Halloween?
look like a hemorrhoid.
And also, isn't that what Halloween's about?
Distasteful
Do you know
things. Right, so...
Just dressing up like things that scare you. I'm sorry, but there's probably about 2 billion people that are slightly scared about...
Yeah, I think making light of coronavirus is probably a good thing.
I mean, wasn't it Prince Harry? He dressed as a Nazi for Halloween.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit more offensive than dressing up as coronavirus.
There's a comment on the story, so it's obviously on the internet. Someone's put, at least the price was nothing to sneeze at. It's not really COVID, but they've tried.
Yeah, it's not one of the symptoms.
They've
is it?
tried.
Not one of the
They've
main
tried.
symptoms. They've done well. What else could they have said though?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, I was trying to think.
Yeah,
of
we're not really sharp, and which is
not really comedians or anything.
No.
So
no.
if anyone's got a good pun,
Get it involved.
get it sent down. get it put in the comments.
We'll credit you.
Coronavirus pun. I will credit you next episode. You can go back end at credits.
What was I going to say? Oh, right. So, actually, I've got something to say to this. So, making light of COVID is all right. It isn't all right. It's distasteful. But people can dress as, like, Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
Why is that all right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Or maybe it's not all right, but people still do it anyway.
Yeah.
But where do you draw the line? Yeah.
Because to me, at Halloween, you dress as something that you're scared of, don't you?
Yeah.
Because I've been kicked out of a club before when I was younger. So when I was like 20. Because I went as a terrorist. Now, being a proper adult, I can see how that can be offensive. I can get that. But at the end of the day, I went as something that scared me.
Yeah.
So I went out on Halloween, and that scared me at the time.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's kind of similar to people dressing up as coronavirus. It's whatever's at the time that's...
Yeah.
Because there were all those killer clowns, weren't there, that were parading around. Remember that?
Yeah, that was dodgy, that.
Like 2 years ago, and they were just randomly, people decided to be clowns and scare people all day.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Which were straight. But do you know what? It did the job, didn't it? It's Halloween. You went out and you scared some people.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
And some people killed people. Dodgy. What's
Talking of dodgy,
Go on.
we can segue into my story if you want.
I fucking love a segue.
Classic segue.
Oh, yeah.
So, how scary is this?
Oh.
Cockroaches, porn, and a bloody pig mask. How eBay harassed bloggers.
What?
So,
Elaborate.
the New York Times published an in-depth report about eBay employees and contractors who were sending, amongst other things, a bloody pig mask and cockroaches to a Boston area couple that operated a tiny publication that reviewed eBay sellers. So this tiny little couple were basically saying, "Oh, this seller's a bit bad."
Yeah.
And then the CEO was hate reading it frequently, apparently. So the CEO was going onto this website where probably 10 people viewed this website.
Yeah.
No one really took it seriously. But because he was that obsessed by it, he hate read it, and he sent a text saying, "We are going to crush this lady."
Oh, God.
He sent another text saying to his head of security to take her down. And then, so apparently this woman got hold of it, and she wrote a story about a lawsuit that eBay filed against Amazon.
Yeah.
And then the CEO sent a text to his head of security just over half an hour after the blog went up and said, "If you're ever going to take her down, now is the time." Absolutely balmy. You're earning millions. So what else did they send? So he said, "Whatever it takes, take her down."
That's dodgy.
They sent $70 worth of unwanted pizzas, cockroaches, a Craigslist ad that said, "Swingers are welcome at any time, 24/7. That's juvenile,
It's
isn't it?
awful.
That's proper high school stuff. But so then, following on from that, they also decided to stalk the bloggers.
Weird.
So they followed the car
Yeah.
until the eBay employees heard over the police scanner that they had been spotted.
Brilliant.
So they'd actually bought the technology as well, probably off eBay.
Oh, God.
Left a good. I hope they left a good review for it.
I do. Worked real good.
Be a weird coincidence if they didn't.
Ooh. A very weird coincidence.
But they followed him in a rental car. But one of the rental car's license plates was traced to an eBay employee,
Brilliant.
And some of the delivered pizzas were purchased with a gift card bought a few miles from eBay's headquarters.
Brilliant.
So they didn't do a very good job.
It's like they wanted to be caught.
Yeah. Worried about getting caught, eBay's security team started sending one another emails to make it appear that they were just discovering some of the harassment aimed at the bloggers. They also brainstormed cover stories, erased information from their phone, and tried to stonewall eBay's internal investigation team. I can't believe they've got an internal investigation team as well. Mental, that, isn't it? All for people selling tat.
Second-hand buying, selling, what's that?
Selling packs of 700 zip ties and stuff. Like
Used.
And there's all these people. Yeah, used.
Oh, God.
But their main thing that they were trying to do was to make the Steiners uncomfortable, and then eBay would play dumb and offer them assistance in the hope that they would change their tune and offer more positive coverage.
Brilliant.
So they basically sent all the staff to go and bully these two people who owned a very small website, and then they were going to go, "Oh, it's horrible that you're getting bullied. Do you want to give us a positive review?" Like, how does that work?
It's illogical, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just like that this guy's like sat in his office, like banging the table with his hand. Do you know what I mean? Going, "Get them! I want them all dead. I want his family dead. I want like
bring me his head.
Gangster.
£50,000 for him dead. £100,000 for him alive."
It's all because someone said, "Yeah, it wasn't that great, this product."
Oh yeah,
it were a bit bad.
These wellies actually let water in.
Yeah. Better buckets than wellies. That's whacking it. That they're so shady about it.
Oh God,
rough.
It's like, right, us getting that bloke from last podcast that loved roundabouts messaging us saying, "Oh, you said my roundabouts are shit. I'm going to do you in."
Yeah, and get it right and mad.
I hope it happens so I can make a podcast about it.
He'd go, "I'm going to come round to your house. By the way, is there any nice roundabouts on the way?
I'm going to take the route with the most roundabouts on the way to your house. No worries, mate.
The scenic route via the roundabouts." Yeah. There's a big ring road down the road, mate. Crack, knock your head out.
He'll have an absolute hard-on over that.
Turbo Virgin time. So I've got 3 this week. So it must have been quite a slow week for me on Facebook. Because usually I have to sift through like 50 a day of just nonsense. It's usually like lyrics. It's like lyrics from like Joy Division or R.E.M. or something. Like depressing lyrics usually. Just lines all the time.
I can't believe you've not spoke about any of this.
Yeah. Or like if I was doing something with someone, it's like, is out with this person. Not saying what I'm doing or just saying I'm with someone.
Yeah.
But so I've got holy shit, she was a grade A bird, and I don't think she knew it. Getting the bus at this time every week for definite.
Why are you such a fucking perv?
There's so much wrong with that statement. Who uses the word bird to start with?
Grade A.
A grade A, like I'm grading eggs. Do you know what I mean? Like she was a lion standard woman. Like, what are you on about? I don't think she knew it. How? How do I know that she doesn't know that she's attractive when she's got some weird 19-year-old turbo virgin just staring at her,
sweaty,
smelling her hair behind her on bus? Do you know what I mean?
As she walks past, taking in a deep breath.
Yeah. Getting the bus at this time every week for definite. Why would I change my bus routine? I'm obviously going somewhere every week. Yeah. So why would this girl influence what time I got the fucking bus?
Because
Were I trying to impress her? Hoping that she were on Facebook and would see that? I'm just getting this bus for you, love. Do you know what I mean?
Don't even need to go where you're going.
Hey. Your stop. I'll get off here as well. It's just weird.
7 stops after mine.
Yeah. But it did remind me of a girl that got on the bus. So I was going back to uni, and I was in my like metal phase. So I was wearing a Metallica t-shirt.
Class.
And then this girl got on. She had an Iron Maiden t-shirt on. So like, oh, hold on a minute. This is like a thing. I could probably speak to this girl. So she sat down anyway, and I was sat behind her. So I stood up, and I thought, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to be a turbo veg my entire life. I'm going to go for it. This is the one. I can make this. So I walked over, just sat next to her, like cocky as all, sat down. So what's your favourite Iron Maiden song then? She went, what? And I went, your favourite Iron Maiden song, your t-shirt? She went, oh no, I got it from Topshop, I just like the design.
I saw that
So
coming.
I just stood up, went straight upstairs to the top deck, didn't even say anything else to her, just left.
Head down.
Yeah, just like, right, I've tried. I'm going to go sit upstairs
Proper
now.
scowling. I can imagine you.
Yeah,
I bet,
been right
I bet,
mad at her.
yeah, I bet you were angry, weren't you?
Real mad at her, yeah. There'll be a post about it at some point. I will find that post of that happening, but it just reminded me of that.
How dare she lead you into that?
It does kind of still annoy me, though, to be fair, when people wear band t-shirts and don't know the band. It does kind of get on me.
No, I get it.
It gets on other
I
people's
get it.
nerves a bit. It's quite a contentious one with me, I think. The second one.
Yeah.
Spent all the time walking to my grand's talking in a Chinese accent.
Oh, fuck.
Wait. Then all the way back in a black accent
What does that mean?
to my brother, of course, not to myself. No likes, no comments.
No,
on that
I'm
one.
not surprised.
Because I don't understand what the fuck I'm doing here. What? So I walked to my grand's talking Chinese, or in a Chinese accent, which, by the way, I am terrible at accents. So, and then all the way back in a black accent? Is that that's got to be racist.
Yeah.
That's got to be something. That's got to be wrong.
It's very blanket.
Yeah. This is the accent that only they speak with. No, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And then just put to my brother, of course, not to myself. Like, that makes it any less
Yeah, I'm
weird.
going to say, because, yeah, you've already hit that. Because it makes it any less weird.
That I'm walking around with different... Well, I went to work, didn't I? Couple of posts ago.
Speaking like a sim.
Speaking like a sim.
Yeah. Wow.
So I spot like a sim, Chinese person, then
I never
apparently
knew
in a
you were
black
good at
accent.
impressions, mate.
Terrible. I can't do any of them. Absolutely tragic.
Number 3.
Yeah, shit was weird today. Someone got bitten on the bus. Someone burned in a garden in Bradford. Cleaner rushed off somewhere for no reason. Phone networks are fucked. This is playing on my mind. So, this was when I thought the zombie apocalypse was happening.
It does sound like Shaun of the Dead.
I genuinely thought I phoned in sick.
You didn't.
I phoned in sick because I thought the zombie apocalypse was happening, and I locked myself in my own bedroom, barricaded myself
No,
in.
you didn't.
Yeah, and I went to the shop and I bought loads of tinned food and everything. Like, I'd proper, set up a backpack, like a little, like they have prepper backpacks
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's an emergency, I'm going.
Yeah, so that I'd I think I put toothpaste in it and stuff. I don't think I put proper stuff in your salt tablets or anything. So I just lying around, so I think they were a flannel.
Because
Some toothpaste.
hygiene is key in those times.
Yeah, some earbuds, like cotton buds. Just threw it all in there. Barricaded my door, stayed in my house.
It's always in a drywall or something as well, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
that bag's there. I'm going to have to smash through this wall to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, like someone's going to nick your salt tablets.
Fuck off.
Or your urine catcher. Not going to
Or your tin of corned beef.
Yeah. I tell you what, I felt like a right dick afterwards as well.
I bet. I bet you feel like a dick now.
Yeah. But I remember telling people at the time, I was like, it's happening. You all need to go home and
You
hide.
need to prepare.
And bearing in mind all the posts I already put on my Facebook, I definitely probably said that to some people that are trying to court.
God! Stop!
Do you know what I mean? And I'm trying to ask them on a date, and I'm like, have you got a prep bag just in case?
Do you want to run away from the apocalypse with me?
I've got a trap door built out in the back garden that leads to an underground bunker. Do you want to come and have a candlelit dinner down there? It's not going to work, is it? Nightmare.
Oh, we can last 3 months down there.
Not with me around, or an absolute serial killer. Nightmare.
Brilliant. I think that's one of my favourites so far. I think the fact that you called in sick and you went to shop and restocked makes it.
The worst thing is that I remember those memories just from a Facebook post, because it's burned in my mind not to behave like that ever again. It's like conditioning, mental conditioning. Do you like when the SAS get like interviewed for 24 hours?
Yeah.
I just read my old Facebook post. That conditions me to society again. Fucked. Absolutely fucked.
It's rough, that.
Obviously, the name of the podcast is Gin Club. I say it every week, and obviously we don't really like gin. But how's yours gone?
Do you know what? I've actually nailed it.
Yeah,
it's gone. I nailed it about halfway through.
Good work. What were it again?
Lemon sherbet gin, Asda, extra special.
That sounds like something you'd vape.
It does, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? It sounds like a vape flavour.
Let me simply add to your favourite mixer for a sparkly tipple. That's lovely. That.
And it has been a sparkly tipple for you, hasn't it?
A great time.
It's
a first.
I think the Scottish should stick to whiskey.
And that's the end of your review?
Because it's the best part we're opening it. The second best part is going to be pouring it all down.
Brilliant.
Awful. So rough. It's like drinking bleach. Awful.
So far you've had fairy washing up liquid and bleach.
And bleach. I did mind the what were the coconut and rum one were nice. Yeah, I liked that one.
Yeah.
And that's because it didn't really taste like gin. So, well, yeah, that's been the gin. So obviously we have as Twitter. So go follow us Twitter. It's at Gin Podcast.
That doesn't bode well that you're not sure.
Yeah, that's it. I'm literally a quarter of a gin down, hammered already. Yeah, so we do some other stuff with some other podcasts. So I share some podcasts that I've been listening to. So if you want to listen to any more independent podcasts, then you can obviously listen to those guys.
Why don't you say podcast more?
Because I love saying podcasts. It's for the hashtag.
Hashtag podcast. Hashtag podnation. Hashtag podden family.
You've got it all. You're stalking me. But yeah, and we're also on Facebook. We do usually post photos on the Facebook as well as whatever we've talked about, so you can have a look at what we've been looking at and stuff like that. So
get involved, get liked, get shared.
And as ever, if you've got a topic, let us know. We tried to do coincidences, but it were a rough
one. It's a tough one, that. It's a real tough one.
It were hard work.
So, Stacey, if you've got any other ideas, please get them involved.
Yeah, please let them, but coincidence was just an absolute nightmare.
Try and make them easier.
Right. Anyway, I think it's a good point to wrap it up.
Yes, it certainly is. Right, thank you for that.
All right. See you in a bit, guys.